3.
It's going down.
Surprise! I bet you didn't expect it this early, did you, boys?
Woo!
The bloods are flowing.
You know, it's never too early to start talking fantasy, right, fellas?
Amen, brother.
Cheers. Cheers.
Before we get to the draft order, I think we do a quick recap of last year. What do you guys think?
Let's go for it.
All right, what do you guys think about last year,
Let's
Cass?
start with the top. Roman.
Yeah. Matthew, the learning
Hold it out.
computer, the algorithms finally came through. He put together a great season.
Great season.
And he had a well-deserved win, so
He was in
congratulations.
contention all year.
He started Jalen Samuels in a tight end spot. You know, it's
Hey,
the
he
truth.
saw Chubb before we all saw Chubb. So
Fucking bitch.
I saw Chubb. You saw him. I think
He did. Romanowski had a solid team, and it wasn't a fluke. He was in the top 2 or 3 all year long.
Yeah.
He had an awesome team. He's looking to replicate it this year. We'll see if he can do it. Past history states, you never know. Like, look at Pat last year. He was in the top 3 all year, and he got last place last year. So nothing's guaranteed, even though Pat had a sick team last year. By the way, wasn't that one of the worst beats you ever seen? Second most points in the league to get last place.
Yeah.
Never seen it, Pat. Bad luck. Hopefully that does not happen again this year. He actually had 2 of maybe the top 3 picks of this year's draft on his team.
It's okay, Pat. This is your year.
The curse, Pat, hopefully goes into another league and affects none of us. But hopefully, brother, you don't have the curse again this year.
You know, we had the usual suspects. Tim was terrible, like
Tim was
always.
terrible.
I mean, he's always terrible.
Justin's been surprisingly
was
good
pretty
for
good.
2 years now.
Yeah.
Justin, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it.
Ryan, Denny and Ryan, and they battled in the middle all season long. They were fighting.
My team was garbage.
Your team was shitty.
Yeah, I was there, bottom feeder.
Cass's team was shitty.
Pretty shitty.
Pretty shitty.
You know, we had bad years. Championship 2 years ago and failed on this face.
You know, we speak about it every year, guys. Quarterbacks. And what's the thing we always preach? Specifically
don't
me.
draft quarterbacks.
Don't take one early. Cass, I think, took Rodgers in the second round last year, right? Bit him in the ass. And here we are this year. Not one, but 2 guys have guaranteed taking Mahomes in the first round if he's there.
Right here, baby.
Right here!
I don't know about this one, but this guy to my right and Calzone have both guaranteed Mahomes if he's there in the first round. Now, I don't believe either of them, but it's a win-win. A stud. You're rooting for the team that you
start over.
All I'm saying is good luck with that.
Here we go. We got one of the guys we were just
Justin
praising
joined
you.
us. Come sit down, Justin.
Yeah, we're just
Justin here.
We'd like your thoughts on the last season.
You guys want to pick our top breakouts of last year and some busts we got?
We can talk about whatever you're craving.
All right. Well, let's start with some good breakouts. Some guys we didn't think were going to be that great and kind of exploded. The guy I mentioned earlier, Chubb, found by Roman, I think was a huge pickup.
Chubb was
guy I thought was a joke. His name is Chubb, and he turned out to be pretty good. And it looks like an offense with Baker Mayfield is a good choice.
So you know, last year was a big deal when it comes to waiver wire pickups. Chubb, waiver wire pickup. James Conner, waiver wire pickup. Both are potential top 10, top 12 picks this year. And it happens every year. Waiver wire is so important. That's why guys like Tim are so bad, because he sets his team at the beginning, falls asleep for the rest of the year, and he hopes it does well. You have to play the waiver wire.
Much love to you, Tim.
Yeah,
I think he's accepted it. It's all right.
How about
all right, so how about we get a little bit of a recap as far as what's gone on so far, guys? Have we drawn any names?
No.
We're
just doing a recap.
Fredo's here, guys.
What about some busts from last year? Some high picks that really dropped. I'll have to throw out one that might not have been a huge bust, but it was a big fucking bust. His name starts with a G and his last name starts with a Ganowski, and he's the worst. Gronk, that's what I'm talking about.
G. Ganowski?
Either way, I went with him, and the dude...
Rob Gronkowski. Now, here's the question, guys. He took Rob Gronkowski in the second round last year. Is Kelsey right now is projected to be a second-round pick? Is he going to have the same fate as Gronk? Now, I don't think he is. Kelsey definitely has the potential to be clear-cut number 1 tight end. Kittle's right there, but I mean Kittle, Ertz, and
Kelsey.
That's a tier, 3 tiers above the 4th.
Now I think I should make my take because I'm the tight end guy. I've been the tight end guy for years.
You are.
And obviously, I mean Gronkowski. I just saw the writing on the walls, guys. I saw it. Okay, so
he took Kelsey before Gronk.
I did because I've had Gronk for years, and I had a little whisper in the ear, and I just knew what was going to happen. So I had to go with my boy, hometown. Call me a homer. Doesn't matter what you want to say. That's what it was, and I think I pulled it off.
It was good, you know. So last year was an extremely great year. We're going to move on to this year. Now, this year, just to go over the draft potential maybe. So I think this year you have a top 4, clear-cut top 4 guys in Zeke, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, and Saquon Barkley. Do you guys agree?
I concur.
I mean, Saquon Barkley did an amazing job for my team last year.
He took
so I
him
would
last
say,
year, yeah. I mean, Justin hit on his first 2 rounds, and it really paid dividends for him. And here we are. Getting those top 4 guys, I think it puts you in a situation where you have a bell cow back that can get you 20-plus points every single week. That's a 3-down back. After that, it gets tricky. Do you go Melvin Gordon? Do you go Hopkins? Do you go you mentioned Chubb? There's a lot of different things up in the air. But that
second round is thick this year.
Top 4 is kind of where you want to be at. Cass, what do you think?
I think so too, and there's 4 or 5 picks right after that are really interesting because guys like Le'Veon Bell, who's on a new team, just spent an entire season not playing football, is typically a perennial top 1 or 2 pick.
And it's interesting you bring that up. Sorry to cut you off, but I just thought it was interesting.
Go on.
Because
it was interesting.
Well, it's interesting because you have these guys who are hot right now. Everybody wants to pay attention to the hot and the new. But you have some guys that are a little bit older that maybe have not been on the radar, for whatever reason.
Like who?
Who are those guys, Brett?
Huh? We were just talking about Bell. And I think that's someone you have to keep on the radar. Because you never know what you're going to get out of that guy.
Bell's a 3-down back. At the end of the day, the Jets' offense sucks, but he's a 3-down back. And what have we talked about? Fantasy is about potential and touches. It's touches. You could have a stud running back, but if he doesn't touch the ball, it doesn't matter. And you have guys. By the time August gets here, guys, things are going to be 100% different with preseason, with injuries. It happens every single year. Guys like Damian Williams. Literally 3 days ago, we're going in the 3rd round, late 2nd, are going to jump all the way up to maybe the end of the 1st round, early 2nd round, because the Chiefs running back is that valuable, which we know that firsthand. So this is the reason we're doing this draft order now, is to give us tons of time to prep, not just 2 weeks. Now we know you can do those mocks, you can do the research, you can understand where your spot is. If you want to do trades are always open. Pre-draft trades. Always fun. I'm open for trades.
Listen, you preach trades year in, year out.
I do.
Trades but what I'm saying is this is not a league of trades. You know that. You preach it every year.
Almost every year.
I'm down for trades.
Okay, we talk about it. Doesn't happen though.
So one thing I wanted to talk about
every year.
One thing I want to talk about before we get to the draft, one huge elephant in the room. His name, the stud of the last 2 years, Todd Gurley.
Whoa.
What are our thoughts on Todd Gurley right now?
You know what? I know my thoughts. You don't mind me going first.
Bust, right?
I don't think it's his year.
Bust.
No, I don't think so.
Bust.
I know that's what
I had the guy already once. He killed me. Then he was great. Now he's due for a crapper.
I mean,
he's got knee problem. You're done.
It's scary because the guy has a potential to win you the league. We talked top 4 a few minutes ago. He wasn't in there, and the guy's been the #1 back the last 2 years. But what happens? He has knee issues, or they have a huge lead in their division, and they rest him during fantasy playoffs. You can't have that.
Hey, all I gotta say is this, guys. If you look at this guy, yes, he looks sexy, but guess what? It doesn't matter. We're talking about knee problems. This guy's gonna be on his knees. You're gonna be on his knees if you pick him, because guess what? Everyone's gonna be praying that this guy's gonna follow through, and I don't see it happening.
So are you pro Gurley or against
I
Gurley?
don't think Gurley's gonna.
So we got against Gurley, against Gurley. I probably ain't touching Gurley this year. We'll see when preseason.
Okay, so you're against Gurley.
I think I see him as somebody that could be very valuable, right? Because fantasy football is all about finding value in your picks and getting people that outperform where you draft them. If you draft Gurley in the very back of the 1st round, or maybe even in the 2nd round, because there's an injury concern, he could literally be RB1 and the top overall player, and that's a huge value. So, depending on where he falls and what the injury updates are throughout preseason, I might be fully in on the Gurley bandwagon.
But my question is, even if 100% healthy, they're gonna manage his time, and that's what scares me the most. Not even his injury.
All right.
Yeah.
Why would they manage his time?
Because they didn't win a Super Bowl, my friend.
This is why Gurley's risky. This exact argument right here, and it's going to be so crazy once draft day gets here to see where he goes. One last thing, one quick question to each one of you guys before we start the draft order.
All right.
We obviously all have Mahomes #1 quarterback. I'm going to start with Cass. Cass, #2 quarterback on your board.
Ooh, I like this question.
That's a
I
good
like
question.
this
I
John.
haven't put together my positional rankings yet, but I would probably say Baker Mayfield.
He's going Baker! Baker #2!
No.
Oh, okay.
geez.
I thought. Woo! That was,
Maybe Deshaun. I don't know.
All right, Deshaun Watson, that's your answer. What's your answer?
I thought it was supposed to go down the line.
I'll go last.
Okay. All right. I answered this a few days ago
You
with
did.
you, and
And
we had a
you're gonna
private
stick to it?
conversation offset. Andrew Luck. I've taken him number 2.
Upset.
Number 2.
That's
Number
a solid
2.
answer. Bretto, number 2 quarterback.
I gotta play it safe. I think I'm just gonna be Drew Brees.
Not a bad answer
Not
at all.
bad.
Choice.
I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers this year. I know that's risky, but I think he's
and I gotta be
out.
honest, I was gonna toss up there,
So
but
we
I
all
think it's
three
Drew
have
Brees.
different
All
players.
4 different answers. That's why it's so interesting this year. Mahomes is gonna go number 1 as a quarterback. After that, Watson, Rodgers, Luck, Breeze.
Yeah.
Anyone can go number 2, and that's
Wilson.
Russell
Wilson.
Wilson. I mean, seriously. And then you have a
I don't love
plethora
him.
of guys
He's
after
just-
that.
he gets
So
it.
it's going to be a really fun year. We ready to get this draft order started, boys?
Let's do it.
All right. Who's holding it,
All right.
Jace?
Cass won the last of
Cass
the
was
person that are here.
Cass is the
champion.
last official Super Bowl champion in this room. He draws
Oh,
first.
this
All
is the
right.
big one.
Here we
This
go,
is the
guys.
big
Here we
one.
go.
First overall pick in our draft.
So the first 4 picks are going to have a nice advantage.
Oh.
So whoever these picks are, hopefully.
Before you draw, real quick. This is interesting because if Cass or Jace get top 4 and they guarantee a Mahomes pick, that means that 5th pick suddenly becomes extremely valuable.
Ooh.
Keep that in mind.
Me?
A guarantee is
Or Cal. Cal and Jace. I'm
How good is
sorry.
a guarantee though?
If you get the top pick, you're going to pick Mahomes.
They've said it. They've
All right,
said it.
number 1 pick is Josh.
What?
So we know where this is going, guys.
Birthday boy with the first
birthday
overall.
win.
This guy is going.
Yeah.
This guy's
Wow.
going with Mahomes
What do we have
all
to
day
think about that? What
long.
do we have to think about that? Ain't
Boys,
crazy.
first overall, I'll just say this. It's up for trade. I'm
Oh!
up for anything.
Whoa!
Okay,
If you
so-
want-
Twitter just blew up.
So this is nothing we haven't heard before. It's up for trade, whatever. If it's him, it's gonna be Mahomes. Let's just be honest.
All right,
number
number
2
2.
pick.
Number 2. It's okay. I don't want number 1. I want number. Good pick.
Number 2 is Tim.
Oh!
This guy needs a break. All right, let's be
He
honest.
needs
Let's-
a break.
He needed the
let's
top
talk.
Maybe
4.
he needs a reboot
That's
to get
idiot
back
proof.
into fantasy. You know,
You
Maybe
can't
this
miss
is-
with those top 4 picks.
Yeah,
Well,
I heard David Johnson's going to be amazing.
If I'm the next 2, I'd like to be 9 or 10.
We'll see.
all right, the 3rd pick is Matthew.
Oh,
Romanowski,
another
Super
good.
Bowl champion, and he
Kamara,
starts the league
Kamara.
right.
All right, learning computer. Hopefully, he's learned enough to keep it going.
No,
Keep
he
it
can
going.
just push repeat, right?
Yeah, that's
Repeat,
right.
Repeat.
All right, the 4th pick.
Oh, that's it.
Oh,
That's it.
no.
Hold on,
okay.
I'll swirl it around. I don't know
The
what
4th
that
pick,
Oh, God,
the one
come
that
on,
is
I need
perceived
You
as
get the top
the
4.
last of the premium picks,
I don't want the top 4, and I'm going to get the top 4.
is
Say my name.
Cass.
Cass, get the
That's
top
you!
4.
They're
That's
in
me.
the top
It's
4.
Cass.
Oh, that's me.
So we have no Jace, no Cal. That means Mahomes has fallen below the top tier. That means there's a very viable chance they actually will take him with their first round pick.
I concur, Doctor.
You know what? You know what I say to that? More power to him. Take him so that you leave the better picks for the rest of us.
girl. Get it.
All right, the 5th pick goes to Justin Beretta.
Worst pick in the draft, folks.
Used to it, guys.
He's-
Used to it.
Don't worry, Justin. I'm Mr.
Sorry,
6 right
Justin.
here. I'm Mr. 6. I
It's
got
all right.
6.
Hey, but let's be honest. I've been counted out. I've been counted down. I've never been counted. But guess what? I've been doing my best.
Hey, you
all
want
right?
that first pick.
You can't count your rings though.
All right, here we go. The 6th pick is
6th pick.
give it a cabinet KBOL Ryan.
Ryan Cable, 6th pick. We're
If
getting
he's still alive, guys, this is going to be a very interesting pick.
That's
Yeah,
true.
hopefully
We'll
you
see.
can make
We'll
it
see
to the
who
draft,
Cable
right?
goes with.
Let me move these out of the way.
7.
You
Here
want
we
7?
go. This is 7, guys. This is 7.
I have a strategy
Jace
for
wants
7.
7.
I put my thing-
He ain't gonna get it. It's Cal.
Oh! Cal before Chase!
No!
I think there might be a
If Cal goes with his word, that's where Mahomes is going. 7th
Hey, that's the
overall.
only guy I want to be ahead of.
Wow,
All right,
huge.
Number
huge.
8. Number 8. We got 3 picks left. Number 8 is
Don't give me-
Denny.
Okay,
Danny.
give me the 10. I want the 10.
Who do we have left? Jace,
Jace
and
and
Pat.
Pat.
Jason Pat.
Jason and Pat are left.
All right.
John is in the house.
Number 9 goes to Jason.
Jace with 9, and that leaves
Pat.
last
with
place
10.
from last season gets last pick in the draft, which is a great pick to have in my opinion.
I think this year
Solid pick to
picks
have.
6 through like 15 are like so deep
Even.
and even
Yeah.
and mixed. So Pat, you're gonna get a ton.
You
of
get
good value.
2 of them.
Yep.
You get
So we'll refresh the list. Number 1, first pick, Josh. Then it goes Tim, Matthew, Cass, Justin, Ryan, Cal, Denny, Jason, and Pat. We'll send it out in a text or email with the list broken
Good luck.
out.
Get your strategies. Study. Research.
Fantasy,
We know-
fantasy season's here.
Hey!
Fantasy season's here! Let's go.
All right, 9. That's fine.